Hey guys, my name's Victoria. I'm new to YouTube. I hope you enjoy my video. It's just a basic everyday makeup look that I like to do when I just want something really natural and glowy, just with a bronzy kind of smoky eye. Pretty easy, literally one eyeshadow all across the lid and a little bit on the inner corner. I hope you enjoy. So to start with, I use the QV cream moisturizer. So it's pretty basic, it's for dry skin. I've got really dry skin and I struggle a lot with it looking really dull and not very glowy, so I'm just going to rub that on my face. I'm going to take this Insta Fix and Go. So this is a setting spray, but it's also a prepping spray, so I like to use it just to glow up the skin a bit more. It's got a bit of glitter in it, I think. Not glitter, like little particles of glitter. Just like that. It smells like cucumber, so it kind of wakes you up a bit. My foundation, I use kind of on and off 3 particular ones. So most of them are drugstore. So I like the Rimmel Match Perfection. This is the Moisture Hydration Match Perfection. There's a mattifying one and then there's this one. Another one I like is the L'Oreal True Match. So this one's a tiny bit more coverage than that one. It is more likely to dry matte, so sometimes I don't like that. And then this one kind of is your in-between with pretty full coverage. So it's the MAC Studio Fix Foundation. So I'm going to start off with, today, I'm going to use the Rimmel, just because it's kind of my fail-safe. It suits my colouring even when I'm not tan. I've got the 200, which is soft beige, to put on, and it has an SPF of 20, which is really important. I'm going to use this little flat kabuki brush. This one is just from Cotton On. $10, it was amazing buy. And then I'm going to take the Rimmel Match Perfection. So I'm going to just pump it on, probably about 1.5 pumps onto the brush. I'm just going to apply it, like you can see, on that T-zone area. I know it can look a little bit cakey at first, and so I just buff it out. This lighting also doesn't do it a lot of justice. So as you can see, it's not too full coverage, it's just enough so that I'm not feeling red. Another thing is I don't put a lot of foundation on, because then I go back in with concealer and really kind of get that coverage from my concealer. So I'm going to put that brush down and I'm going to get my concealer. So I've got 2. I might as well show you both, otherwise you're just going to end up wondering. And again, drugstore and a bit of a high-end product. So this is the MAC Studio Fix 24 Hour Smooth Wear Concealer. I'm going to mix the 2. So this one's, the Fit Me is in 20 Sand. So that's what it looks like. I swear you've probably seen it at the drugstore. And then in the rearview mirror here, I'm just going to show you. I just dab it kind of in the areas that I get the most darkness. So like I said, I don't like to swoop it all around, because then you just get heaps of concealer and throughout the day it can go kind of orange, because this colour is more closest to my natural colour. So with the brighter colour, so the Studio Fix Concealer, I'm going to use NW24, which is actually pretty fair. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to put that in between, just in there, because that's probably where I get the most darkness. I'll put a little bit on my forehead and a little bit on the tip of my nose. That's just going to give me that bright effect. So for the concealer, normally I would use the Real Techniques sponge, but sometimes I like to mix it up and use these 2 little brushes. So this one's a flat, just an angled brush, and then this one's your fluffy, kind of more denser buffing brush for your concealer. So I'm going to take my little mirror and I'm going to show you how I use these two, and I'm going to show you how I use a sponge. So you can see the results of different products and how they're used. Sorry, you can see the result of two different tools. So, and you can choose for yourself which one you prefer. So with this little flat one, I'm going to, just with my mirror, show you that I'm going to take it, run it right under, and then spread it out. So I'm working with the amount of product that I need instead of just heaps of product. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to take it up onto my lid with the excess. I don't like putting a full dollop of concealer on my lid. A lot of people do, and I find you end up wasting way more product than you need to, and that's why you can sometimes go through your concealer like there's no tomorrow, unless you're frugal with it. With the buffing brush, I'm going to take it and blend out the harshness, just like this. So that's the result. I'll just show you it's a better lighting and a bit more close up. That's the result of it, just blended with my brushes. Okay, so now I'm going to take my brush and buff out concealer under my eye by tapping it in. As opposed to rubbing it, I'm just tapping it in. You can be quite rough with it. I think that's the one thing I like about it, is that it is so much quicker than if I were to just blend. So I'll just show you a little bit closer up how that looks. It's nice and smooth and concealed. Cool. Now we're going to move on. Okay, so just going to use the Chocolate Soleil bronzer now, and I'm going to use a little fluffy brush. This one is just one I got literally a year or two ago. I can't remember where, but it's great. It just kind of is the perfect size. So you can see it's quite small. It's pretty fluffy, and it just seems to keep it kind of contained but still give that bronze effect. So swirling that around, and I'm going to show you where I put it. So often I will start about here. You can already tell. So I'll kind of like place it on, and then I'll buff it up onto the other side and do the same thing. I'm sorry the lighting's kind of a bit funny. You might not be able to see what I'm doing all that clearly, but hopefully you can. Stand back a little, you can. Then I'm gonna, on the forehead, I'm just taking it pretty roughly. I just like to really place it on the forehead because obviously that's where the sun naturally hits. So it looks quite pretty having a bit of bronzer here. Nice and bronzed. Awesome. So yeah, that's kind of all I do for my bronzer. I really don't like to put too much on. So now I've got two blush options to show you. I've got a lot more, probably too many, but I don't want to confuse you, so I'm just going to show you the two options that I usually opt for. I've got more of a peachy one, and I've got more of a, like, it's an iridescent pink. I like the iridescent pink for when I'm kind of feeling like I need a lift, and I like the peach for more of a bronzy look. So if I'm just going to use the pink one. I'm going to do it on the other side. So it's just really subtle, just gives you a bit of a glow. Okay, I'm going to put my highlighter on. This is the Merry Luminizer by The Balm. Just going to tap it a little bit and pop it right here. So as you can see, that's instantly brightened it up. Cool. So now I like to do another thing. I like to take my blush brush again and just buff that out, because sometimes the highlight can go a little bit, can kind of stick to one spot and look a little bit cakey. I don't know. I'll probably do my brows next. With my brows, I don't really like putting any product in them. You can probably tell they're huge. This is one of my biggest frustrations, is how dominant they are. I mean, I know it's a good thing, but it limits me. So often I like to do makeup on other people. I hate usually doing my own eyeshadow because, I mean, look, there's like barely any lid space because they bloody take it all up. So all I do is I take my little spoolie and I just brush them up to kind of give me more eyelid to work with. And then I kind of go like this. That's it. That's all you need to do. Pretty boring. Don't mind my mole. Yeah, that's it. So, what I'm going to do next is a really simple eyeshadow look that I like to do just randomly. I don't usually put it on that much. Like, I'll probably put mascara on and go. But for the purpose of the video, I'll show you. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peaches palette. It smells amazing. It's like peaches. So, I'm going to take this pinky shade here and Puree. And I'm just going to use Puree just in the inner corner to give it a little bit more of a bronzy look. I usually kind of pack it on and then blend it out. And it looks pretty intense actually, but in real life it's not that intense. And you just blend it, blend it, blend it. On my eyelids, that's kind of where I've always put it because that's usually where my brow bone sits, like kind of ends, so it's like the crease, if you like to call it that. And I'm taking a 217 MAC brush and just buffing it out. So obviously that's pretty full on. So I'm going to take another fluffy brush. This is just a Morph M441 and buff that out again, just so that it's not so intense. So I'm going to take the Georgia shade now and clean up the mess a little bit on a flat brush. I'm just going to take it right here where it's gone a tiny bit too dark for my liking, and just kind of just brightens it all up. I'll show you later another way you can look at it. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. I'll show you in better light how it looks soon. Now I'm going to take the mascara that I always go for. It's the Falsies Maybelline Volume Express Waterproof Mascara. And I'm just going to quickly pop that on. Alright, so got my mascara on. And now, lastly but not least, I'm going to just quickly put some lip liner on. This is the MAC Subculture lip liner. It's quite of a neutral nude. And I'm going to line the top. My lips, just like that. So I kind of go a bit over my natural lip line to get more of a pouty look. And then I'm going to take the Oh My Gloss in 130 by Rimmel. This is just like a normal nude lip gloss. And put it all over. Done! Now I'm going to take my hair out. It's got a bit of a kink in it. Anyway, you get the picture. And I'm going to just finish off by spraying my face with the Insta Fix and Go primer and setting spray. Done. Wait, I've got a step. The Merry Luminizer. The last thing I like to do before I leave is put a tiny littlest amount on my nose, on the tip of the nose. Just buff it out and maybe up a little bit. And it just adds a little bit more glow. So, that's it. It's just really neutral, quite natural. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day and tune in next time.